Yeah, Chuck Briggett Brock Bronson. No. Neophytes take notice. People like what gives them the right. What's appropriate? People like yikes. Peep the prognosis. Eager for a full dose of this kid Moses. Beating with the whole bulk of the tone lokin'. Your fern belly so hocus pocus. You are no Bogart. You are so bogus. You're a Botard. Sorta numbskulled. Meanwhile, I don't condone and cold stoning. You'll get spun open. You'll get run over. You'll get unplugged, lights out, melatonin. I knock rappers out sight often. Anything I rock, I'ma rip it. I am Hulk Hogan. Fucking A right, brother, know it. Pull your mean gene by her jeans. Do a dosing. Sweet tooth, she uncream the whole hostess. Deep two whole cakes, take the whole stroking. We need food, this ain't beef, it's only boasting. Juke through the rope of dope. Hoop through your throat to choke, dude. You don't wanna be the culprit. Get that ass beat. We the 7-3 Miami Dolphins. I have been chosen. I am no token. The bee's knees, you are blown noses. And I'm Dave Ruffin. Nobody came to see you, Otis.
We're in the sound facility in Rochester, off of Lyle Avenue. And this is where I record my music.
This is where you make everything?
It is, yeah. I haven't recorded anything outside of here within the past. It's been a year, maybe. Yeah, just about a couple years.
No.
Well, I mean, the other spot, we used to have a spot on Ramona.
Yeah, that's what I was including.
So I guess that would be considered here as well, because it was a sound facility then. Just wasn't just relocated.
Who are the guys that you work with here?
Mainly Sharp, Brian Curtis. He's a producer also out of Rochester. We're working on a project called Chuck Bronson, and all of my time has been going into that. And also Kev and Genius Christ, where we've been collectively compiling a lot of good quality shit over the past year or so.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. So what are you doing here today?
Today we recorded a song called No No, N-O, K-N-O-W, off of the Chuck Bronson project, and we're chilling with James Nitch.
So tell us a little more about the Chuck Bronson project.
Chuck Bronson is it's really just a showcase of the chemistry that Sharp and I have. His production really takes out the more aggressive and silly side of what I can do creatively, and it's just been a lot of fun, like the neck breakers.
These are the guys that you work with are friends?
Yeah. Before the music, we've always been friends from school, and a bunch of different scenarios. But we're all friends before the music shit and after it.
Okay, so that was all. You guys were all friends before you even ever got in the studio. And
yeah, well, Kev and I have been friends ever since we were little kids, like 5-6 years old. We met Sharp and Set at a show at one of Hassan Mackey's shows a few summers ago, probably maybe 2 summers ago, and we've just been linked up ever since.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what who are some artists that inspire you to do what you do? Like what makes you do what you do?
What makes me do what I do, or who am I inspired by?
What makes you do what you do? First of all, what is it for you? Like, what is the music for you?
Well, I've always like been somewhat of an escapist as far as like trying to relate to the people around me. It's always been difficult, considering like I always had a big family, and they were all into other shit that I just couldn't like connect with. Like they're all athletes and tough guys and shit like that, and I was always kind of an outcast. So I would like stay inside and paint and shit before the music, before I knew anything about it. And it was that's pretty much how I found myself, how I found who I am and what I am. They would have like the old school Wednesdays on BET, and I remember the first song I saw, the first video, it was "Passing Me By" the Far Side. And I knew about hip hop, I just didn't like. It was never nothing that I could connect with, because it was always about, these people and their extraordinary lifestyles and shit, like all the money they have and all the people they killed, the drugs they sold, and it was just so far from like where my brain was at. But I saw that song, and they were just like, regular guys who deal with regular shit, and they were, you know, creative and clever, and that's what how it clicked. And I thought I could do that too. Why not?
Is that pretty representative of your music now, like the kind of things you talk about?
Like, admittedly, I think I've kind of bit their style, not completely, but that's when I'm compiling my music and writing or making beats or whatever. That's what I think about. It's just being like brutally honest to the point where it's, you know, it's funny because I'm a fucking goofball, you know, like, and I want that to be very evident in whatever I do.
Yeah, you want people to see the humor, I suppose, or like the lighthearted.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I feel like most MCs, they dwell on being like a superstar, and they're just these extraordinary people who are, you know, they're either tough guys or they got all these money and girls and shit like that, and it's like you don't have to be that to be a creative musician. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm just a regular guy. I do regular stuff.
Do you play other instruments, or do you play any instruments?
I used to. Well, I have a keyboard. I've always had a keyboard growing up, and I just mess with it. I don't know how to read music or anything like that.
No, but you could sit there and tap buttons.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll hear something and then try to.
You can play it back.
Down. Yeah.
So you got a good ear.
Actually, man, I think I'm tone deaf.
Oh yeah.
Because Sharp will play me a beat, and then I'll call him up and say, dude, can you send me that beat? And I'll do the beatbox, and then it was like, you don't know what the fuck I'm doing because it sounds so different
Like
from what
out
I
of
really
key.
sound. Yeah.
Did you have any kind of musical background in school?
Nah, yo, I hated music class. It was like the worst.
Why? Because it was why?
I don't know, man. Because I've always been so fucking shy. They used to give us recorders, you know, like the flute type things, and we would like sit around in a circle and we all have to like play a couple notes, and I would just freeze up.
So it was like the performance aspect.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean that
being on the spot.
Exactly, which is kind of waved by a long time ago. You know, considering all the shows I've done.
Yeah.
Been performing for it'll be 2 years in November. We did our first show in November of